Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking about patch 10.1.5 and I want to talk about theories around specific items that will be added into this new patch. These items are all these different epic BoE items that you can use in order to then craft specific items. And so far, we are not sure exactly what you will be able to craft with these different items, but the main theory is that with these different items, you will be able to craft the original tier 3 from Naxxramass. And like that, it would mean that you would be able to basically buy the tier 3 from the auction house and also craft it with these different items. So just before I start diving into this video and in this theory, I really want to insist on the fact that this is only a theory so far. No one has been able to confirm what these different items will be used for, or if actually you will be able to craft some tier 3 pieces with them. So please keep that in mind, and everything I'm going to talk about in today's video is really just based on this theory and on my personal understanding of what might happen in patch 10.1.5 with these different items. So as you can imagine, a lot of people are currently trying to understand what these items are going to be used for and to try to solve this new mystery. And there is a dedicated channel on Discord called the WoW Secret Finding and Collection Discord channel, where people come together to basically discuss all these new upcoming mysteries and try to solve them together. For instance, they are the ones who discovered all the different things you need to do in order to unlock the new recipes for Zul'Gurub in patch 10.0.7. And they also are the ones who are basically working on so many other things and who already solved so many other mysteries. And right now, a lot of people are discussing these new items, especially the ones, again, that I just mentioned, where we're not sure exactly what you will be able to craft with. There is one person in particular that started to talk about the possibility that these different items will be used in order to craft some bind on account tier 3 pieces, which again, I think is a pretty reasonable option, but as you can imagine, as these different tier 3 armor pieces are already available in the game through the black market auction house, it would mean that Blizzard would have to kind of think of a way to make sure that the people who invested a lot of time and money into trying to get these different armor pieces from the black market auction house will maybe have a little advantage in crafting and selling these new armor pieces. So as you can see, when you are in the PTR and you click on these different recipes, it will say that you will be able to get the recipe when doing a discovery in Naxxramass. And for instance, with Zul'Gurub, you had to do a couple of things in order to then be eligible to get an achievement that will then allow you to finally get some of these recipes drop. And here, the theory of this person is that basically only the people who have this achievement right here, Drop Dead Gorgeous, will be able to basically trigger this discovery and to then be able to get these recipes and start crafting these different items. And I think this is by far the most interesting theory so far. For those of you who are not really familiar with this achievement, as you can see, all you need to do in order to get it is to collect any class armor set from the original Naxxramass, so any tier 3 sets, and you need to have all the different pieces from the set, so even the wrist and everything, in order to unlock this achievement. So one thing that is really interesting is the fact that, as you can see, this is something that is good for your entire account, and this is something that has a direct link with the tier 3 sets and with Naxxramass. So as I already mentioned, I do think this theory is pretty plausible, and there is one thing in particular that makes it even better, and it's this tweet right here from Mr. GM, which basically said that in patch 10.1.5 there is a new player condition which requires the player to have the tier 3 transmog achievement. As you can see here, it says requires the achievement Drop Dead Gorgeous to be completed. We're not sure yet why and what it's going to be used for, but of course, as you can imagine, it kind of validates a little bit this theory that you will be able to unlock these different recipes and start crafting these items when you have this achievement with you. So this is so far the main theory, and then of course other people mention like other reasons why that might happen. So for instance, the one that I really like is this person right here was saying that as buying the tier 3 from the black market auction house represents quite a lot of investment, whether it's in money or in time. What Blizzard wants to do with this new system is allowing people who spent a lot of time and who were able to complete this full tier 3 set to be able to craft all these new items in order to make some gold back. And then the rest of the player base will simply be able to buy these different items from the auction house and then create these different binds to your account tier 3 PCs. So I really think this theory makes sense because I'm sure that Blizzard kind of wants to reintroduce these tier 3 PCs and sets outside of the black market auction house, and probably patch 10.1.5 is going to be the best moment to do so as they're reintroducing a lot of content from the original Naxxramass. But at the same time, I'm sure that they don't want to piss off too much people who spent a lot of time and money buying all these different sets from the black market auction house, because keep in mind, again, they're the ones who decided to create the black market auction house in the first place and also to make all these different items pretty difficult to get. So basically they created the incentives for the players to spend a lot of gold and everything trying to get these sets from this auction house. And now if they basically just create a new way for people to craft and sell these different tier 3 PCs without doing anything for people who were actually able to put enough effort in getting a full set before that, I think that would be not so fair towards the players who just followed what Blizzard created in the first place. So with this system, basically they would be able to make these different tier sets available to almost anyone. But at the same time, the people who managed to put enough effort in getting some of them in the first place will be able to make some gold with it, which will be a good way for them to kind of reimburse the money they spent on the black market auction house. So I really think this theory is the most plausible so far, and there is another one that would also make sense. So basically, very similar to what happened with the Scarab Lord achievement and mount, which are very exclusive to the people who managed to get the achievement in the first place. A few years ago, they decided to create a new updated model for this Black Kiraji battle tank, but only the people who were previously able to get the achievement and the mount were able to be eligible to get this new mount. And so maybe here what they're trying to do is that while they're going to release all these tier 3 sets for everyone on the auction house, basically the people who managed to get the achievement before will be able to get some updated version of these different sets, which will still make them more unique than the ones you would be able to then buy from the auction house. This is another plausible theory that I think could also happen. So this is where we are so far, and I do really think that this theory makes sense and that we will be able to get all the different tier 3 sets outside of the black market auction house in patch 10.1.5. One thing that is now kind of sure is the fact that they will have something happening with this Drop Dead Gorgeous achievement. Again, maybe it will be used to actually allow people to unlock all these different recipes and then craft these different items that you will be able to use to get the tier 3 sets, and therefore making these different players very rich at the same time. Or maybe it's simply the fact that you will be able to get something specific, maybe like an updated version of some of these sets. We don't know, but what is sure is that Blizzard is intending to do something with this achievement for the people who were able, again, to get it before patch 10.1.5 or maybe even after that. So what I would recommend you to do is just try to get this achievement, because if that's the case, you will then be able to make a lot of gold with these different items, or if that's not the case, you will still be able to get something cool out of it. Of course, it's not an easy task. You will need to get the 8 armor pieces from the black market auction house, and sometimes it will cost you a lot of gold, but also it just requires a lot of time because you need to check every day to see if the different pieces that you're missing from the set are there or not, and then you have to fight with other people to try and get it. And especially if this theory is right, it will become even more and more difficult to get some of these armor pieces from the black market auction house because everyone will be trying to get it in the first place. So this is really my only recommendation. Try to get it. If you are wondering what are the easiest sets to buy from the black market auction house, I would say the male ones are the best, especially the shaman is probably the cheapest overall, but the hunter as well. But so really, this is my only main recommendation. I know it's not something easy to do again, but here we are. This is the information we have so far. And at least if you are trying to do that, you have still probably like more than a month to try and complete this achievement. So this is again only what we know from the PTR. I will try to provide you with some updates as soon as we discover more, but there is a big possibility that unfortunately we won't be able to confirm any of that before the actual release of patch 10.1.5. And in that case, it means that you will kind of have to trust these different theories, and maybe they will end up not being real. And you might end up just spending a lot of gold trying to buy these different tier 3 sets from the black market auction house for nothing. So really just do whatever you want with this information. I just wanted to make this video because I find this topic very interesting, and I just wanted to let you know in advance of where we're at with these different theories. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, let me know in the comments what you think about patch 10.1.5 and about the return of the tier 3 sets through this new crafted item. I will see you all very soon, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great Sunday. Bye!